Russia is ready to launch Iran's first nuclear power plant on Saturday, saying the joint project will show that Tehran is entitled to the peaceful use of nuclear energy. The Russian-built reactor will be loaded with fuel under the strict control of the UN's nuclear watchdog. The plant is expected to be fully operational in about a month. Russia will help to run the facility, supply the fuel, and remove the waste. That's expected to ease fears of Tehran using the spent rods to make nuclear weapons. Iran is under UN sanctions aimed at pressuring Tehran to abandon its uranium enrichment program. RT's Oksana Boyko looks at the construction of the plant.
It's been a routine for more than a decade. Hundreds of Russian constructors streaming to their workplace. 3 shifts a day, 6 days a week, building Iran's first nuclear power station. It's been a long wait. Launched by Germans in the 1970s, the construction was halted after the Islamic Revolution. When Russians took over, the task was to feed a new reactor into an already existing building.
To reconstruct is always more difficult than to build from scratch. We had to fit in equipment that normally requires a much larger space.
This is one of the reasons why the launch of the station has been postponed so many times. For the Iranians, it meant the delay in their nuclear dream. For local Russians, more time away from home. Ludmila works in a local kindergarten. While her husband is putting finishing touches to the station, she's explaining to her pupils what it's all about.
Why we need nuclear power stations?
For electricity.
For light. For air conditioner.
Ludmila says she likes it in Bushehr.
The conditions are good here. Every family has a separate house, something that we couldn't afford at home.
The launch of the Bushehr plant is a major political and economic milestone for Iran, but for the Russian constructors who built it, it's a very joyous occasion too. Out of about 3,000, only 1 in 10 were able to bring their families with them. The rest committed themselves to a lonely and rather tedious life. But now everybody is counting the days until they go home. Sergei is one of them. After 17 years of marriage, he had to adjust to a bachelor's life again. Now he's gearing up for the opposite transition.
I'm very happy to go home. I miss my family.
Just as Iranian society is isolated from the rest of the world, the Russian village in Bushehr is cut off. It's surrounded by walls, guarded day and night by the Iranian police. Women are required to observe the Muslim dress code. Men have to forget about alcoholic drinks. Life is especially monotonous for the local teenagers.
I wish we had more freedom. There are not many things to do here, and girls always have to cover their heads. It took me a lot of time to get used to it.
The construction of the Bushehr plant has always been entangled in big politics, but it is also the lot of little men and their families who've spent years away from home building Iran's nuclear dream. Oksana Boyko, RT, Iran.